Hey everyone, it's Bethany here and welcome back to this book nook. In particular, I have an actual book nook now. I need to share that with you guys. I mean, I've already shown you on my latest TBR video, but it is the start of another vlog and I'm just going to dump so much information on you at the beginning of this vlog. I have a new reading nook. I need to do a reset. I've read 3 books I'm going to talk to you about, and I got a tattoo. My best friend and her partner, so I guess they're both very close friends, but my absolute bestie from childhood came over for a visit over the weekend, so I didn't vlog anything. I was just spending all the time with her and her partner and my partner, and we were just having a jolly old time this weekend. I say this weekend, yesterday, and then I got a tattoo last night when they flew out. So I've got lots to update you on, but first things first, I don't think I can sit down and chillax until I've done a little bit of a reset, so I'm just going to do a quick tidy up. There's not much here to do, but Sunday morning reset, I suppose. Alright, that did not take long at all to do a little reset. I am not planning on going anywhere today, so it's just going to be a purely reading day. But let me show you the tattoo. I need to moisturize it. Oh, good and tight. That was a big burp, babe. Let me show you the tattoo. This was done by Millie at Victims of Ink in Melbourne, and this is her second week tattooing. So she is an apprentice. I got, hang on, where can I get you the good angle? A peony and B. The thinking behind it at first is that obviously my name is Bethany. One of my nicknames from primary school was B, and so I thought it'd be hilarious to get a B on my knee because the bee's knees. And then I'd had that thought for a while, and then I saw Millie's flash posted, and she had bees on it and some really pretty flowers, and I've always enjoyed the look of floral tattoos. But I don't, do I? No, I don't really have any floral on me. So when I saw this, I was like, yo, that could actually be a really nice piece to wrap around my knee. And then the more I thought about it, whilst purely I kind of originally got going with this idea for aesthetics, I do like the idea of the flower being a bit of a representation of my mum, because my mum and me, you know, the flower gives nourishment to the bee in terms of nourishment isn't really the right word, but you know what I mean, they're connected. And I also just really like the way when they're paired together, they frame the knee. Certainly not warm enough to wear a mini skirt out and about, so we're just chilling out at home anyway. We've had a big weekend with my friends and we just need some time to settle. I did take Friday off school sick because I was just not doing 100%, and rather than burn out and have to take weeks off, I figured I would just take one day off. I was supported by my colleagues to do that, so that was really nice, and I honestly feel really recharged. I'm happy I was able to keep the tattoo appointment. And of course I have this reading nook which I have been dreaming of ever since we moved in, because this corner is kind of awkward. You can't put anything really flat against it because you'll have the glare. If we had a TV on this wall, it just would not work. And so I knew I wanted a hanging lamp here and a reading nook, and it's come together. We have the you will have seen this is a little ottoman, and then all I want to finish this off is a rug of some sorts, just to kind of give it a metaphorical wall on this plane rather than this plane, because I think it just will add the last little touch of coziness. And then I don't know if it'll be today or tomorrow. Oh, but tomorrow's King's birthday, so I don't know when, but at some point I really want to get like a little bookshelf, not like a big one, just like a little one. And I've seen one in Kmart that's just, I had one in New Zealand actually. You might recall that it was like a 4-shelf white metal with like the wood shelving. I think it's maybe $30 or $40 from Kmart. I think that'll do perfectly. And then from that reading stack, I have actually already read these 3 books this month, which makes sense. I think it's like the 10th of June already. It took me a while to edit the monthly TBR, but I have read these 3 books already. Let's go from worst to best. Out of those 3, A Magic Steeped in Poison. Hang on, can I like suss this out? There we go. A Magic Steeped in Poison. I think I am going to give it like 3 stars, maybe 2.5 stars. It's just fallen into the trap of YA fantasy that I don't like. If you're wondering why I keep picking it up, it's because I still find some really good YA fantasy books out and about, but this one just wasn't it. My main gripe with this one is it felt like it was way too long, and I did not like the ending, and there was a character that felt pointless. From there, I read, actually no, I think if we're going in order from least favourite to favourite, we read Bridgerton book 2. I'll just keep this one really short. It's a really cool historical romance. You've probably heard of it because it's a Netflix show. I definitely think the book is better than the season. I explained it in my written review. I don't know if I've posted that on Instagram yet, but I explained in my written review that in the book, the sisters are really amicable. And in this series, the sisters are not quite as amicable. They're more like adversaries because it's the younger sister is set to marry Anthony, but the older sister ends up falling in love with Anthony. So there's like a lot more rivalry between the sisters in the series, in the Netflix series. It's really played up, whereas in the book, it's really quite sweet, and I like that for the book. I still think I'm going to give this 5 stars, but the reason why Dry is the top of this little list is because I think this is the one that will stick with me the most. Apocalypse, what happens when all the water dries up. It's really, really good. I already knew going into this that I would like Schusterman's writing style because I love Scythe. It's one of my favourite science fiction stories of all time, series of all time. It's so, so good. And my favourite thing about this was the morality of it, how quickly society and humanity is just like crumbles and falls apart. It was very realistic. I think I said science fiction, that's actually wrong. It's just pure dystopian. It's today's world, and I'm going to be thinking about this for ages. I was actually, when I went to the grocery market with my friend, I was pointing out at the water because we were just talking about the book, and I'm like, it's made me a bit paranoid about the fact that we are not self-sufficient in any way. If we couldn't get any food or water, be dead within the week, you know, unless the government was actually helpful, which they're not in this book. So that was just a whole thing. It was just a whole thing, and I'm going to be thinking about this for a long time to come. And if I hadn't already taught a dystopian unit for creative writing this year with my students, I possibly would choose this to do with them, with the more senior students, because it can be quite harrowing. I feel like this has been the longest intro in mankind. I'm almost there. Long story short, I was going to start this vlog before my friends came here and show you all the things my friends and I did, but I just decided to stay in the moment. So I have spun the wheel with the remaining books to figure out what book to read next. Makes it look like I've got a halo when I'm sitting in my reading chair and filming, but the book that was obviously just spun is Mexican Gothic. I'm really excited for this. I think this is going to be a nice breakup of genres. I've just read historical romance, dystopia, and fantasy. Now I've got a bit of a mystery thriller at my hands. Again though, why is it a fantasy sticker? I will say it once. I've said it before in my TBR video. I'll say it again in this video. My local library is a little bit like a fever dream. All of the books are just randomly mixed by genre. It's just fiction and non-fiction. Non-fiction is all like Dewey Decimal Systemed, but all the fictional books are just all lumped together. I'll have to take you next time I go. I didn't take you for this month, just because it was my first time going there. I didn't really know what I was going to I didn't know what to expect. But yeah, this is Mexican Gothic. Now this is about, the way her name is spelled is Noemi. It's Noemi. But basically it's 1950s Mexico. Noemi, oh, what is my phone? What? Tripod, get back here. Hi, I'm back. Basically her cousin is like, help, I'm recently married, but my husband is trying to kill me. Noemi is like, okay, I'll come help you. And she arrives at a place that is dramatic, and like, I like the vibe I'm getting from here, that she wears like, Noemi wears like really cool gowns and is quite a character, quite a like, almost Hollywood in my mind is how I'm figuring it, glitz and glamour, right? But she steps in and she becomes a bit of a detective trying to figure out what's going on. And the line as well, which got me quite interested, is not of the house itself, which begins to invade Noemi's dreams with visions of blood and doom. I don't know if that would constitute a dragon sticker on the spine, but I'm excited by it, but I do hope it doesn't become too outlandish. I would love for it to be like quite a realistic thriller. But yes, I feel like I've been talking for half an hour. I'm going to dig into this now. By the way, one of you guys commented on my June TBR video that this is like a perfect bookmark for this book, so I am very excited to see how it all links in. I made a joke about mushrooms being like poisonous, and if that comes true, you heard it in the video from like a week ago first. Anyway, the first page of Mexican Gothic is: the parties at the Tunon's house always ended unquestionably late, and since the hosts enjoyed costume parties in particular, it was not unusual to see Chinas poblanas with their folkloric skirts and ribbons in their hair arrive in the company of a harlequin or a cowboy. That is a very long first sentence, I will say that. A very wordy sentence. But I am intrigued by the harlequin or a cowboy vibe. It sounds very like decadent already, so I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5 stars for the first sentence. I'm going to try read to at least page 50. That's been a thing I've been trying recently, by the way, and I think it's helping. I will only start a new book if I'm able to dedicate at least half an hour to reading it, because then I feel like you get a decent chance to understand the vibe of the book. So yeah, I've got my cuppa here with my little cat, laptop cat. And it's a new drink, a black sugar milk tea. It's interesting. I think it would be better if I made it like with milk, but the instructions said water. I might make it with milk next time. Anyway, I'm getting distracted. Let me read. Alright, whoa, look at all this slide. I have just interrupted my reading. No, I have just had my reading interrupted for a positive reason, and that is Our Every Plate box arrived. This is absolutely not sponsored, 100% paid for this with our own money. Titus has got a job, which is so exciting. I'm so proud of him. It's just the paperwork in Australia has taken forever. That's the only reason why there's a delay. But he's got himself a job, and like, if you've been watching my vlogs for a while now, oh, I was looking for the scissors, they're in the dishwasher. Knife warning. If you've been watching my vlogs for a while, you know that he's the cook, he's the chef, he's the one that makes dinner. And now that this will be his first full-time job, because like he was studying and then he was what do you call it, apprenticing, baby? Kind of. He had always been fine time-wise to cook dinner, and we got this discount code in the mail, and we said, oh, let's give it a go, because when COVID was the thing, back when we were doing COVID diaries, we had a few of the HelloFresh boxes, but these guys came through with like a deal, and so we thought we would give it a go. This is so rambly, I'm sorry, but to give it a go, to try and relieve some stress whilst we're both getting used to both of us working full time, because the last thing you want to do is like get angry or upset over who's cooking dinner if we're both tired. So I'll show you the meals we have. We've got speedy Jamaican chicken, an Asian beef bowl, spicy Mexican black bean, garlicky beef burger, and a creamy chicken penne. And on all accounts, this would be cheaper if we probably made it ourselves, because fresh produce is so cheap here. But and we're only doing it because we got a discount. Otherwise, we probably wouldn't do it if it was full price. But we are also paying a little bit for, you know, the convenience of it all. Hi team, okay, update, it is 9 PM. I will admit to having a 2-hour sleep, I can't really call it a nap. We went out, grabbed some snacks, had dinner, but reading update, I have officially made it to page 100, and it's an interesting kind of story so far because it's got a very slow pace. So far we've got 100 pages of I don't feel like it's too spoilery. I'll try to keep it light, but basically we've got 100 pages of our main character, oh, how do I say her name out loud again? Noemi has gone to the place where her cousin lives, has gone and asked a doctor to go see her cousin, and she's had 1 or 2 bad nightmares and been introduced to the family members who are all really sexist and into this idea of eugenics. And I feel like that's not a lot to have happened in 100 pages. We're starting to get into a bit of a creep factor. We just had a graveyard scene where she saw something in the mist. There's definitely a bit of, like, there's definitely a gothic element to it all. A little bit of the, oh, what's that word I learnt in university all about gothic genre? Annoy me. I'll try to think of it. But yeah, like the uncanniness, it's got a lot of the uncanniness starting to creep in. And I'm happy to say that we just had a chapter where one of the characters was picking mushrooms, and so the mushroom in the bookmark is making sense. I also went bookmark shopping this morning online, so there'll definitely be a bookmark haul coming somewhere in the future. But for now, I'm just going to have a break from reading. I might edit a YouTube video, go wash my hair. But yeah, that nap has made me feel quite good, but now I don't think I can sleep anytime soon. So who knows, we might even make it to halfway in this before the night is out. Good morning vlog. It is Monday. It's technically King's birthday. But today's the day. I'm determined. We're going to go and finish my little book nook. Some things I really want are the bookshelf I mentioned yesterday. I feel like that's a need. I can't have a book nook without a bookshelf. I also really want to get a rug of some sorts, but I don't know if Kmart is going to be the place for it. Hopefully I can just kill all the birds with the same stone. That sounds really brutal when you put the idiom like that. And then also I'll just flip you around. I think it'd be really nice to have just a cushion, just one single cushion there. Because this is what I've got so far, and it's looking pretty awesome. But that's the one for the couch, baby. I can't steal the couch one. But see, I do think it looks good. I think I need a cushion there, and then a shelf, and then a rug, and then that will be me happy. No, also, these are the couch pillows, babe. Is the door actually gonna... No, it's off.
Bye.
Say that, but I've had 2 in the past 6 months. Look at this. Yeah, it's towel size. Yeah, and then is there a matching hand towel? I could at least get like a little pink one. I don't really like the grey. It's a bit too dark. I actually don't hate the mustard because we're talking about bringing amber in. I was just thinking this one. Huh? Or it's this one. And I like how this one, that one right there, is like long. So it'll give me more long-term storage too. But it is more expensive. Right, now for rugs. The thing is, I wish there was like a triangle rug, but I don't think they make them. So, oh gosh, I don't know. I might not even find the perfect one here, to be honest. There's not heaps of options. Right, team, if you can hear noise in the background, that is Titus building the bookshelf, but we have a bit of a Kmart haul. Went in for a bookshelf and came out with that plus more bed linen. We wanted a third set of bed linen, I guess for options, but also when we have guests round, we don't have a spare sheet. So when we strip the beds, we don't have a clean set to put on our own bed. So we went for this one, which is a little bit different, but we're thinking our colour scheme is very green and cream, but there's definitely hints of pink and like goldy tones just in the wood, and in the bathroom there's a bit of pink. So we picked this up. And then we kind of followed this train of thought. We wanted to get some more towels. So we went for this like mustard yellow check. So we've got 2 of those. And we're being such good adults in that we're buying like sets of things. So not just those towels, but we got the matching hand towel. And I think what's working really well for us at the moment is each week we have like a cleaning reset day where we swap over the bed sheets, swap over our towels and the bath mat. And so we have like constant clean stuff. It sounds so stupid, but like when you're a university student and you can't afford heaps of linens, your hygiene realistically for this sort of stuff does kind of, it's not peak. So now that we're good and proper adults, we're buying plenty of towels, and this is the other one. So it's a bit grey, but it's got like the floral pattern without it being too feminine, but still soft. So we got the matching hand towel for that. And then to go with this set, I picked up 2 pillowcases because, you know, you have 4 pillows on the bed. And these ones have like a little frill around the edge, and I just thought it would be, you know, a bit nice and feminine. A screwdriver, I sure can, babe. And then the last thing here was this little pillow that I got for the reading nook, but I'm gonna go help Titus build this shelf. Screw just fell out.
What?
It just fell out. There you go. From up there somewhere. Oh, yeah, the first way. Yeah, that way. I'll put it like this when I'm sick of people and I'm indicating that I just want to talk to no one. Nah, put it against the wall, baby. Right, I just spent the last maybe hour doing, I'll get a bigger bowl, doing my schoolwork so that I don't have to stress out tomorrow. All of my lessons are planned and I'm finally going to make use of my really cool little reading nook. So when you walk into the apartment, this is what you see now. Oh, I'm quite happy with it. It's obviously like, ignore the craft knife on the table and the washing that's out drying. But like, this is the little nook. All of my books are still in New Zealand and I need to get them over here eventually. But for now, I'm just happy with this. We have a shelf. I'm glad that it takes up this kind of white wall. Was looking too white for me. And this ties in with this. I just think it works really well. The last thing, I still just want like a little, I'm thinking maybe a sheepskin rug or something like fluffy, maybe a faux sheepskin rug, something just to cozy it up that little bit more. And then over time I'll get some cool bookends and knickknacks and stuff for the shelf. But for now I am going to go get myself a weird little snack. I don't know if anyone else does this, but when I was a kid I used to eat honey Cheerios as a snack, but I haven't had, I don't know, they changed the recipe or something. Honey Cheerios are not the same, so now I do it with Crispix. And I do like genuinely eat this as a cereal with milk, but sometimes I just eat it dry like crisps. And it's just honestly so good. It's like little honey bites or something, and they're nice and crispy and stuff. It's just really nice. But I am going to keep reading Mexican Gothic. I'm going to sit in my reading nook. Oh, it's busy out. It's a really busy day out at the moment. It's a beautiful day. It's really sunny. But it's been a big weekend for sports. Been a lot of big games and like heaps of people going into the city and stuff. Reading update, I am up to page 200 of Mexican Gothic and there's definitely so many triggers in this. I do wish that the blurb part where it says an indomitable will and she's trying to solve things and figure things out, it definitely isn't feeling like much of a mystery at the moment. She definitely feels like she's just in a haunted house trying to figure things out, but there's nothing really coming together. I've already made a prediction about the wine and I'm like 100% sure that it's got something to do with the stuff that's going on. I don't want to spoil it, you know, some of the stuff that's going on. I understand why they've put a fantasy sticker on it now though. It's because there's like paranormal activity. At the moment it's being shown through this lens of nightmares and like seeing things. It's not currently being shown as, yes, there is actual paranormal creatures in this world. It's being shown through a lens of dreamscapes. So yeah, I can't say it's as dark and intense as I was hoping. Even though it's got all those triggers, it still feels like it's almost like a oxymoron of vibes because you've got all those triggers, literal dark stuff happening, but it still feels somewhat soft and hazy of an atmosphere. So dark academic, but almost like you're viewing all through a smoke screen. I hope that explains it. But yeah, for now, I've only got 100 pages left. I definitely am going to try finish it tonight. I think, do you want dinner, babe? Yeah. Probably cook some dinner up so I'm not just eating all snacks. And yeah, that's just my 66% of the way through update. just a little update. This is what it looks like with the light on. And we've moved this to be more like central to this wall because I felt like it was just too tight in here. But yes, let's talk about this book because we need to. First though, to get my thoughts in order, I am going to write my review. By the way, I have been keeping all of my reviews in one Google document. It is currently 23 pages long, but I think it's really cool to have like a document of the books that I have read all in one place. And then I'm behind on 1, 2, 3 reviews, but I'm going to focus on Mexican Gothic for now. Alright, here we go. So, where can I put this so we can all see it peeking out? There we go. Mexican Gothic, apparently. Mexican Gothic. I'm going to give this a rating of 3.5 stars. I'll put up my little breakdown of how I do my reviews over here. If you are unfamiliar with my Instagram, I do post these with all my reviews. I've gotten into, I think, a happy place with my Instagram. This is a tangent, I know. Where whenever I post a review, it's like a digital image of the book. And I think for my brain, at least, it's nice going through and being able to tell which books in my feed, which posts in my feed are reviews. Then if you swipe on them, you will get like a little info sheet as well as how I've broken down my ratings. So I'll try to get in the habit in the vlogs to show that as well, because this is what really helps me then develop my reviews. So from that, you'll be able to see that my favourite element of this novel is definitely the atmosphere. It's super dark academic, it's really creepy, it's not a kind of book you would want to read if you lived in a creaky old house and you were under the blankets reading it. Like, that would be way too freaky for me. So the horror does really fit, does really well to give you that unsettling feeling. I know earlier in the vlog I was talking about wanting more mystery. And I think I got really hung up on the mystery because of the blurb. There's a line that mentions it, but really it is marketed as a horror. So I do think that fits the book a lot better than a mystery. Because as much as I love the atmosphere, the plot pace was off for me, and that was my least favourite element about this book. If I say plot mountain, I do this with my students at school. So it's like a theory, I suppose, a structure that I've got logged into my brain. You tend to be working towards a certain climax, a certain point with a book, and along the way, to keep your readers interested in a novel, you would have little climaxes along the way. One of my critiques of Dark Dawn was it had too many climaxes, so it felt like when you reached one of those main points of action, the book had almost come to a conclusion, but then you had to like keep going. In this book, the rising action is so gradual, and then it peaks at the 2/3 point. And that's where I last updated you guys. And I really loved the last 100 pages. I think it was so good, so creepy. And I just wish the rest of the book had had that same level of intensity, because all of this build-up felt like too much work to get to the end of that point of the book. I also really need to mention the triggers. I've got my list here. I jotted these down as I came across them on my phone. I was just looking at my phone, filming on it, as I came across them, and I've probably missed some, but I've got here sexism. Oh, and some of these might be a bit spoilery, so just a heads up. No, in fact, some of them are spoilery, so I'll put a little spoiler warning down there. Slight, because it's out of context and it's a trigger warning, but anyway. Sexism, suicide, murder, self-harm, mental health, disease, mentions of mass graves, incest, nightmares, eugenics, sexual assault, rape, cannibalism, infanticide, stillborns, miscarriage, hallucinogens, forced marriage, rotten bodies, torture. I think that's 20 trigger warnings I found. And that's insane considering, sorry, I've misspelt incest as insect. Incest. And I do find that crazy because there's absolutely no inkling of that in the blurb, and there's no trigger warnings at the beginning. So huge warning if you want to pick this book up. Why do there be a broken looking lawnmower? Hello? Hello? Hello everybody, and oh my god, every time I try to vlog there's somebody walking past me and it's so awkward. Hang on. Hi. Right, we're at the station and no one's around, so that's good, we're cool. Basically the whole reason I picked this phone up to film to begin with is to let you guys know that I have started the new book, The Family Plot. Now this book is about a family and they live on an island. It's not a deserted island, but they themselves are very separated from the rest of the inhabitants. This is because they are seen as a weird family. There's a mother, a father and 4 children, and the children are raised to be homeschooled. They are all homeschooled children. But it's not a traditional homeschooling in the sense that you still have maths, English and all of that, but their theme is always about serial killers and murders. Their grandparents, the children's grandparents, were murdered, and since then the children's mother, the daughter of the grandparents who were murdered, was quite fascinated with it. So she would educate her kids on serial killers and try to get them to solve unsolved crimes and all of that sort of stuff. So they were very much seen as weird. However, what happens is that on our main character's 16th birthday, her twin disappears. Now this is unusual because they're really close siblings and she thought she knew a lot about him. Ultimately, she waits around for a few years waiting for her brother to come back, but he never does, so she moves away. There is a 9-year time skip. Then her father dies of a heart attack. So the family comes back together, but the brother is still missing. When the caretaker is digging up the plot for the father figure to be buried, they find the remains of the lost brother, who is clearly murdered by an axe to the skull. So there's this whole murder mystery going on. However, the thing that really makes it a bit curiouser and curiouser, so each of the children are named after famous victims. It's meant to be a way to honour the dead. Our male sibling, the male victim, he was found, as I've mentioned, with an axe in his head. He was named after a person who was killed via axe to the head. And so there's also this element of who did it, because up until that point nobody really ventured up to the house. The kids themselves didn't really venture out of the house, and so there's this feeling that somebody in the family did it, and I'm liking it so far. I think my train's coming. Great timing. Alright, here is the kind of updated, finished for now book Nook. We decided to move this across so that, let me get around at the perfect angle. It's a bit more central. If I was being real finicky about it, I'd move that over more, but when those seats are out, you need that space. And then I've got our Thai learning books here, some stamps, a little photo printer. There's actually 2 in here. There's this Clone Trooper one and Stormtrooper one. And what's the other one you've got in there? Darth Vader. And then this Goku one. But yeah, we will eventually get more bits and bobs on here, like when my books eventually come over. But for now, this is the Nook. morning team, let's talk about the family plot. I am only 50 pages away from finishing, so we'll definitely finish it today. And I have to say I'm really liking it. The author has definitely put in a lot of no, that was wrong. I was going to say whodunits. There's like lots of suspects, but lots of red herrings. And I have to say, this whole time, it's now been revealed who the murderer is, but like you still doubt it because there's been so many, I don't want to say plot twists, but like general twists and turns. And I think that whilst it's really good and interesting, there is a little part of me that's like, okay, you don't need to make it this convoluted. So that's just where I'm at the moment. However, that's just a small gripe, but overall I am really enjoying it. It's very fluidly written, like it's very easy to read, and I think that it's quite consumable for a lot of people. It does deal with like murder and serial killing, obviously, and there are a couple of other triggers, but they're kind of spoilery, but I'll put them in my review anyway, just in case that's something you need to be aware of. But yeah, other than just if you're going to pick up a murder mystery, like there's going to be murder, and I don't think there's anything else that's too gruesome. There's not any sexual assault or that sort of thing. But anyway, it's time for me to get to school. I just wanted to update you all, and there is a winter market on tonight, so I might go to that too. We'll see how I feel. Alright, we made it to, this is the winter market, and I have a Milo here which has maple and chili in it. It's actually pretty good, but anyway, we're in a massive queue to go get some food. Let's see what we can get. Got it? Actually hot to touch. What do we have? It's like a fish bowl, cuttlefish. Oh god, there's heaps in there. Do some Lego building and boba. Okay, so I just happened to be scrolling on TikTok and I saw this video, and I've never wanted anything for my bookshelves more in my life, so we are in Kmart hunting them down, and I'm also in the rug section, and I think I just found the rug I want. Is it all coming together in the final minutes of this vlog? I have them!
Do you want all of them?
I want all of the variations, please. Yes, please. These are going to look so cute on my bookshelf. Yeah, just share one. Do you reckon the lemonade?
Yeah, I think so, because the other ones are still like...
Ah, yeah. Go for that one then. What is it, like 9:30? 9:30 Slurpee. Ta-da! There's the new rug. I know it's a little bit smaller than I think I envisioned in my head, but to be honest, it still works. And then Titus built some of his Legos too. Ugh! And then a little bit of an impromptu haul. As you know, I was looking for the flowers in Kmart and we found them, and I got one of all of them. Can you pass me the other one, please, babe, that we haven't made? These are the two that we haven't made, and my phone was on charge, and we made for Gesundheit. And made 4 of them. Look, 1, 2. Oh, this one's cool. 3. And 4. And these are definitely going to be little knickknacks for the bookshelf. Maybe I could put one in the bathroom. I don't know. For now, they're very cute. They're only $5 each. They're from Kmart. Very good purchase. A lot cheaper than Nook. But that's that first thing. And then when we were at the market getting food, we saw this. This is Luffy, and it's lasered onto wood, and then it's framed, and it's like proper. I don't know if I can smell the wood or smell the smoke from the market, but it's got like a proper backing on it. Do you want to open it? And ultimately we'll hang that on the wall, but that's the thing. And then unexpectedly they had I mean, unexpectedly, they had stalls. I thought it was just food. But they had this little jewellery store. And I love kind of funky, but somehow wearable still earrings. And so they had a sale on 3 for $25. Oh, is that it? Luffy out of its package. Oh, I didn't even realise it was glass on front as well. Oh, plastic on front. Oh, I think that looks so cool. So cool. Do you want to stand it up somewhere? And so it was 3 for $25. And so I got this little pair of sheep. A little bit in honour of my mum. I've actually already have cow earrings, so I feel like this is a perfect addition to the collection. And when I say odd but wearable, like these are small enough that I can wear them and you can do like a little double take rather than being very ostentatious. The thing that drew me to the stand were these cat ones, which are from Sailor Moon, a little bit of an anime theme going on. I also like how they're not perfectly matched, you got a bit of both. I should probably finish Sailor Moon. I just need to get past how she cries all the time. And then lastly, I just like these little crocodiles. These little crocodiles. We were out for a long time, so I'm going to put the bags from my jewellery in my little journal scrap collection. And I'm going to finish the last, I think I've got 20 pages left. 20 pages of my book. And then I can wrap up this vlog and let you know how the book goes. Ooh. I am so tired, vlog, but I wrote a review. So here are my ratings. Oh my god, I need to go to sleep. Here are my ratings. Now, basically, my favourite part about this book were the characters and the relationships. And that is because the characters all reacted in such different ways to finding out that their youngest brother left home and that their father died, and like the grief and everything that happens along with it. For example, the brother decides to open up the house to basically be like a museum to show everyone that no, that they're not that weird, but their upbringing was very weird. And their sister makes dioramas of like murder victims. Their mum decides to just bake heaps. So I really like the variety there. And I also like how this book doesn't feel the need, this author doesn't feel the need to always include romance. By that I mean like there wasn't romance. There's a romantic relationship that is talked about, but it's relevant to the mystery at hand. Our character doesn't then have to go off and find a romantic interest and need their help to solve the mystery or anything like that. So I really appreciated how the book focused on familial relationships. Unfortunately, the thing that stopped me from loving this and making it 5 stars is that all the red herrings and all of the wrong rabbit holes that our main character went down, a lot of them you could see that they were the wrong rabbit hole, and so you're kind of just, I don't want to say you're sitting there waiting. There's some joy in figuring things out with her and realising things aren't all as they seem. But by the end of the book, I was getting a little bit bored, and I was feeling like I was ready for the novel to conclude. So overall, I've given it 4 stars. I recommend it if you like plots where there's lots of family drama, complex characters, and then for triggers, I wrote these down. Trigger warnings that I managed to pick up on include murder, suicidal thoughts, depression, mental health, grief, betrayal, loneliness, and gore. So some of the murder scenes and victims are detailed in a decent amount of detail. So that's it for this vlog. I'm going to sign off before it gets any longer. Thank you for coming with me on the journey during this video to create my book Nook, read a couple of novels, take you around a little bit. I appreciate you hanging around for the whole video. So enjoy all the places you go in your own reading adventures, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.